this disease from person to person. So I'm delighted to have come here, and Minister, thank you very much for having allowed me to come and see your operation. CEO, well done, and all the other officials, as well as advisors who are advising the Minister. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take 3 questions. We only have time for 3. We'll take 3. I see, Brazil, you've got your hand up. CD, then we'll at the back.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Having seen what you've seen now, it's just been more than a week since you announced the lockdown. So I know you're probably still going to assess further and see further details. But what's your feeling? Do you think the compliance is good enough for you to lift the lockdown, or by the look of things, perhaps we're going to extend it?
Well, we're still doing an assessment on the effectiveness of the lockdown. In terms of compliance, we're finding that many of our people throughout the country are abiding by the lockdown and its regulations. There are pockets here and there of people who are still getting on with their lives as though there is no coronavirus. And we want to also say to those people, much as we are right in the middle of the lockdown period, that this is a serious, serious disease. It is affecting people throughout the world. And we as South Africans must also take it seriously. We must abide by the regulations that have been published by government. We will be able to make a proper, if you like, scientific assessment in a few days' time to see how well this lockdown is serving the people of our country. But what I can say, if we had not locked down South Africa as we have, I can tell you without any shadow of doubt that the infection rate in South Africa would have been a lot higher than what we have. So the lockdown, by all intents and purposes, has been one of those important measures that we have used to save lives, to contain the spread of the pandemic. So from that side alone, we were correct in locking down our country. And let me say, many other countries are following suit. They are now seeing the effectiveness of locking down. Of course, it impacts on the economy negatively, but it is important to save lives, because lives are important and the lives of our people matter. The economy is going to take a real knock, and we will come up with strategies of how we re-engineer our economy and get it to move forward. But lives matter, and the lives of each South African do matter, and that is why I continue to say, let us take these regulations seriously.
Thank you. Sidi Madia from News 24. Mr. President, what do you say to members of your own cabinet who aren't necessarily practicing what you're preaching? You say to us, don't visit your friends, stay locked down. This weekend we've seen pictures of Minister Stella Ndabeni visiting a friend. What is your message to your own members? And also, will you be taking action against the minister?
I have seen the picture of Minister Ndabeni Abrahams sitting at a luncheon with a number of friends and other people. I have asked her to come and see me, so she's going to come and see me, and I'm going to have a discussion with her about the impact of visuals like those on what we are trying to do, because we are trying to instill a clear message to all our people that social distance is important. Let us stay at home. Let us not be going around with visitations, and if you have to, it must be work-related. Like now, I have come here for a job-related visit to come and inspect what we are doing. After this, I am going straight home. I am not going to my sister's home. I'm not going to any relative's home. I'm going straight home, because this is what the lockdown provisions should be all about. So yes, I will be having a discussion with the minister, and let's leave it there for now.
Mr. President, what would you say is the government's single biggest challenge at the moment outside of people really, or some people not doing what they're supposed to?
Well, our most important challenge is to get everybody to abide by the regulations that we have put out. That is my biggest challenge, to get all of us as South Africans to abide. But as part of that, my biggest challenge is to stop the spread of the virus. Stopping the spread of the virus and leveling, getting the spread of the virus to level and to flatten, not to spike, is one of my biggest challenges, and also to stop the deaths of those who could succumb to coronavirus. But if you care to know, also making sure that the economy of our country is in a position that can sustain the lives of our people beyond coronavirus. So those are the key challenges that we face as a nation. And we are going to be coming up with strategies, with plans of how we address South African challenges beyond coronavirus. But right now we are focusing on stopping the spread, stopping the deaths, and making sure that we flatten the incidence of the spread of the virus.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you. Stay safe, all of us.